Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Straight from Ham City, I'm Slidewhistle.
I'm sorry, from where?
Ham City, baby! Where the ham is made and the bread is drayed.
Is Ham City the precursor? I'm sorry, the follow-up to Pig City, or is it? So you said it's where the ham is made. Are the pigs raised there, or just they're brought to you and you turn them into serviceable ham?
Does this have to do with Babe and like Babe in the City?
Are you guys gonna introduce yourselves or what? Like, come on, what is this? 20 questions?
Well, you started this, but I'm ending it. It's your boy, Immunization.
Whoa, oh, you want to end it?
Yeah.
This is it, the final one, everyone. 266.
No, this ham discussion is over. We have a lot of 10.2.5 to talk about, though.
But I want to talk about John Hamm. He's so charismatic.
You didn't even let me spell it. Yeah, see, what if it wasn't even H-A-M like you all assumed it was? Now we'll never know. Send an email to navarracoffin@gmail.com if you want to know.
Mia Hamm could also be invited. She played soccer for a while. Hey, everyone.
Mia?
Yep. Hey, everyone. It's Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag. I'm sick because my fucking coworker Tyler got me sick with his baloney.
Wait.
A damn cactus snuck up behind me and hit me with a curse when I was in Arizona.
Are you sure it was Tyler's baloney, or was it perhaps his ham from Ham City?
That's what I was going to say.
No, I think we all just got sick because, well, I got sick because I was in like 3 different states over the span of 24 hours. So I saw a million zillion people, and I'm sure one sneezed on me. He was sick because he bought pizza in a Walmart in Ohio, put it in his luggage, took it out 4 hours later in Arizona, and then ate it. And then the next day was like, I feel kind of funny, and got violent food poisoning.
It sounds like it's probably just COVID, right? Because like it's at its height. I think isn't it the rates now higher now than they ever were before?
I think so, but also people have just like stopped caring. So like I don't know that anyone actually knows this information.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's back.
It's less killing
so
now.
back, baby.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had COVID and I felt bad. I feel sick now, but like I'm not in pain. I just sound like an asshole.
Yeah, I think the strain weakened. I think that's what I was been reading. It's kind of just like a cold. Some strains are like a cold now for some people, but that's what it could. I mean, it could be anything.
COVID is also, it's wild to think it is widespread and understood enough that the other day I saw like a TV advertisement for like, got COVID, take Covaplex to help cure the symptoms. Like it has
they have like a whole slogan now, like got COVID, take Paxlovid or something like that.
There you go.
Like,
that's it. Yeah, Paxlovid. Like in like 2 years, it went from like this thing where it's like don't leave your house or it will murder you on sight to like it's sandwiched in between episodes of SpongeBob and like a back pain ad.
Speaking of back pain ads, 10.2.5 has been carrying a lot of the WoW content recently because it's the only patch released because that's how patches work.
Well, yeah, and much like your old uncle, maybe you got a little too big. It picked you up and started carrying you, and all of a sudden you're down on the ground and you're like, Uncle Jim, what happened? He goes, that's all I got.
You sound like everyone in trade chat. Good lord.
Well, I have a certain horse in this race that he didn't really get to the finish line. Some might argue he never started.
What are we waiting for? We got to talk about the reclamation of Glineas, right?
Yeah. We should start with it because it's the very first thing I did as soon as 10.2.5 launched. So,
Same.
So, okay. I guess before we get into everything, I want to ask y'all how y'all got the start of this quest. Did you get it from your journal? Did you just know to go to Stormwind?
Nope. I looked through my journal. Though apparently, if you port into the Valdrakken Tower, they're there too.
When a new patch drops, I go through my journal and I pick up all the new quests. So I got it from my journal.
You know, I just want to say that I hate this system. I feel like there should be a better way. I feel like, and by that I mean like I shouldn't have to flip through like fire rack assaults and like researchers on fire and like 3 different tabs of the mega dungeon that I did like a million times already. I don't know.
Well, how many times do you open your journal in the first place? I mean, like, have you even opened your journal ever?
Literally only at the beginning of patches, and then I'm annoyed every time that I have to flip through things that are like from 4 patches ago.
It's really weird because for the main story, they relied heavily on, like, here's Chandra's floating head screaming at you at the bottom of the screen. It's interesting that they did that a lot, and then once, like, 10.1.7 rolled around, they're like, okay, actually, we're done. That doesn't happen anymore.
Honestly, I'm happy because I was actually getting really annoyed at, well, it probably didn't affect Aaron. I was getting really annoyed at how many times I had to click the X off and make them go away. I'm like, I don't care.
Well, no,
I'm
it
sick of you
did
talking to me.
annoy me because I wasn't doing story quests on, like, Booty ATW or Wigglestein. So literally, yeah, Chandris, like, it was like months past, Chandris would be like, I heard Fire Axe down there in the south. What's he doing? I'm like, shut up.
I don't know what he's doing. Go figure it out.
It's like, I don't know, but like Growlina killed him. Or, well, actually, Growlina didn't kill him. More on that later.
Growlina did not kill him. Growlina had to edit social media videos.
Was it fun?
No. Because they were like, just put a popular song in the background. I was like, I don't know one. Can you give me a popular song? I don't listen to the radio.
What'd they pick?
They were like, just put a popular song. I was like, I'm not trying to be facetious. I do not listen to the radio.
What'd you pick?
I ended up picking the Dula Peep song from Barbie.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that's
it's like
fine,
it's
right?
like the one banger, like a quote contemporary banger I knew. So if you see that video and you see the Dula Peep song, that's me.
But sorry to sidetrack us. We need to reclamation of Glineas, so we're back.
Well, that discussion of the Barbie movie was a little bit longer than it took to reclaim Glineas. Because you roll up.
It was very quick.
You roll up. You are with Gen and Tess and Mia, who sounded like she was voiced by Anna Lady.
I was going to ask you guys this. Was this the first time that Mia was voice acted? You might know more, but like I feel like I did not remember it. Or maybe it's only once before or something.
Did she talk at the tree?
I believe I remember making fun of her voice at the tree when her and Gen were talking and saving people. I don't remember if it was text or I want to say it was voice acted when she was like, no, I'll go, you stay, or whatever it was.
This is a general statement because when they started talking, I realized, and it happens a lot with 10.2.5, and I don't know if it's because we're at relative peace now, everyone is very quiet. I don't know if these new lines were mixed differently, but like Mia was like, Gen, you need to listen to your daughter. And he's like, she does not know what she's saying. And I'm like, huh?
Also, I want to talk about how it was so funny to me that like when you first land like in Glineas, there's an option to like tell Tess like, I don't have time to hear about your plan. Let's just go.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? Who's hitting this?
Especially because her plan was like, let's go in. It's like, okay. You really didn't have time for her to just be like, let's go under. And the whole the whole big thing of it is you land and Gen's like, what the heck? Why are zombies here?
Yeah, because like Kalia and
Lillian Voss.
Yeah, Lillian Voss are there to help you reclaim Glineas, and I'm like, because Tess like made a deal with them or whatever, and Gen is like struggling with the fact that we have to work with the undead, and like Tess is like, don't worry, Dad, they're basically just meat shields in the front. The Scarlet Crusade are used to fighting them anyways.
Yeah, they're experts at fighting the Scarlet Crusade, which I guess is true because there's like 3 different times you fought them, but it's like everyone's good at fighting the Scarlet Crusade. They're humans. They're easily killed.
Everyone's knocked them over. I feel like Gen's voice acting wasn't that bad when it was him talking about like, oh, why are they here? Like, 'cause, like
when he was being racist.
Like, it was like, yeah, because like it felt like he was like PTSD. It was straight up just like, I see his face every time I look at him. And how could you not? They murdered his son. They're murderers because that's what the Horde does. I thought it was disrespectful that Kalia and Lillian were there. I said it immediately to Amin. I was like, well, you shouldn't be here.
I fully agree,
and
I really do enjoy that Kalia, every time you talk to her, is like, sorry, I'm not trying to be here.
Yeah, Kalia spends more time in everybody else's business than her own. Go back to Lordaeron, Go to your people and talk to them. Why is she everywhere?
Listen, she doesn't know what else to do in her undeath.
Girl, sit down and write a book. You came back from the dead. You're basically Jesus. Like, you got a lot of things you could be doing right now. Like,
This
outta
girl, it's a reverse. This girl used to live in the burbs, and then now she lives in a dump. But she keeps going to her burbs friends, being like, "We're gonna kick it like we used to, right?" And it's like, "Girl, no, you live in the dump now. Go hang out with your dump friends."
get out of here.
But the big thing of it being like, "Oh, they'll help us sneak in."
I did appreciate, like, I don't know that I've had a quest where basically they're like, go into this tunnel and smack some rats around. That was at least different.
Yeah, it's the busiest work of all busy work. It's like slightly above just going from one guy to talk to another guy, but it's like, yeah, it's like just swing your thing at rats. And while you're doing it, Lillian Voss is like, are you ready to go, best rogue pal? And Tess is like, yes, we will call upon you at any chance we can. Which then became the thing for me. Can I beat this without ever seeing Lillian?
I also think the rat quest was a redo from a Legion rat quest. We did do a very similar one to those.
Oh, well, either way, it's been a long time since we've done a rat quest of this type.
But you can't avoid it without talking to Lillian, can you?
You
Yeah,
can
it's,
talk to Lillian, but when she's like, I will lend you my aid whenever you need me. The enemies are really tough because they're designed for her to poison them, but you can beat it without her because I did.
Were the enemies really tough?
Well, I mean, like, they took, I mean, like, I was also on my priest, so, like, maybe, like, holy priest damage, and I was lazy, and I was like, okay, I'll call in Lillian, and she would chunk them for, like, half their health with, like, her first dagger strike.
Yeah,
I didn't use nothing. I just ate him in, like, 2 bites.
Like, Scarlet Crusade noob would roll up, and he would have 700k health. Like, they're very clearly designed for you to use Lillian to knock him around, but I was like, I am not acquiescing in my at my house to the people who held it for 15 years.
You killed him. You murdered him. It is really funny how fast it took, but I guess it makes sense when, like, the forces holding it were just like, yeah, we'll move out, I guess. And now the humans can move in.
Also, remember, the reason I have an answer now, like 5 minutes later. The reason Kalia is here is because she ordered the Forsaken to leave. Remember?
Yes, the Forsaken have left, and in a couple of months, the local knuckleheads, the guy they keep putting in every single quest because it's sort of like how you can, like, shoot Nazis in a film because, like, fuck them, who cares? That's who the Scarlet Crusade is now. Now that we're venturing away from, like, actual interesting geopolitics, it's just like, uh-oh, who's in our way? The local racists. The Proud Boys moved in, and we gotta beat them up.
It kind of is what it's like. Yeah, they're just like, murder him, kill him. We're not even putting him in jail.
Even Kalia's like, you're wrong. And the new leader, because we kill the leader every single time, is like, we're right. And she was like, I'm going to murder you, and maybe maybe Pelgarbiter will tell you what was up.
Guys, this patch came out the 16th. This was the Scarlet Crusade's January 16th.
Oh my god, where were you?
We're gonna storm the cathedral!
Where were y'all on January 16th?
Build the wall! It's got a big hole in it, but just put some stuff and build it up again.
Pull the sword out! Let's use it! Let's use a sword! It does kind of make sense, though, I guess, from a player perspective, why Kalia is there. Not just because of the whole she ordered them to leave, but also because, like, imagine if Belameth launched with not being open to the Horde, and if Glineas launched also not being open to the Horde would be like, what the fuck do we do this patch, guys? We don't have any content. We have nowhere to go.
Yeah, I mean, also in that, was it the Dark Ranger storyline that we last saw the whole Kalia story about her removing the...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she basically said, yeah, we will call back all the Forsaken troops because her and Lillian are, like, co-leaders of the undead now, I guess, along with whoever else was on that council that I don't remember their names. Sorry.
Lord Putricus. There's, like, a real nasty guy. And then Lord Belmont, who is just a undead warrior man.
Shit, is that really his name?
His head looks like a mace. because he has the really bad, like, spiky haircut.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, during that quest line, she was like, I promise you several things, that we will remove everyone there so you can reclaim Glineas, and also, we will help you reclaim Glineas. So, like, basically, she needed to be here. She's not just trifling this time.
Yes, and the big help is that she joins with you and Tess and Gen, and you defeat the leader of the Scarlet Crusade. Oh, also, you open the doors for the Alliance to come in and help, because they've all gathered up to help assist Glineas. And I was real mad because in the cutscene where they walk in, where they run in like sword swinging, no wolves. And I was like, huh, you guys didn't even want us to be here? But luckily, when it goes back to gameplay, there are a lot of wolf people going around. So I was like, okay, it's nice that you actually put Gilneans in Glineas.
Then there are just like random Glineas citizens walking around too. I would say maybe about half of them are in wolf form, half of them are like human. I don't know if they're just in a human form or if they are just like human Gilneans, which still exist as well, I suppose.
Yes, that's something I have a list of Gilneas notes here, and that is one of my big ones is when you're going around the city, there are actually a lot of like wolf people. Like it feels like it's like 60-40 wolves to humans, and I was like, that's cool, because for so long, when you saw Gilneans, there'd be like one token wolf guy and like 7 white guys. But there's a nice mix, and you can see them if you don't accidentally talk to the RP woman, like I did.
Who's the RP woman?
By the cathedral, there will be a woman who's like, it's such a great day to be back in Glineas. And she has a dialogue option that says, this is a private event. Do you mind if you and the other Gilneans like hit the bricks for a while? And she goes, of course, I don't want to interrupt your party. And I thought that was just like the courtyard by the cathedral. Okay, like for RP reasons. No, if you talk to her, she nukes every single Gilnean in the city. They disappear, including her.
They come back, right, though?
In a day. So I accidentally did that as I was doing research. And now Glineas is empty. I have to wait until like 2 p.m. tomorrow for any Gilneans to return.
Wait, this is actually just a big brain play from Growlina. Now she has free range to decide if she wants to keep her old homestead or perhaps move into somewhere new.
Well, that's
crazy.
That's the other thing I do. Like, this is point number 2. I think for RP reasons, in the city, you can open every single door. They all lead into small rectangular rooms with nothing in them.
Oh
but
my god.
For RP to be like, I live here, I'm going to open my door and stroll down the street. You can do that now.
Is the Glineas RP crowd that strong that they're straight up catering to them? I thought it was like a meme joke on our server. Like, because like we've seen them and like I know that they exist, but like to be like, how many people are doing it? Are these full scale hangouts? Wait, Muff posted about it. Wait, how many people go to these things? Because if they're hustling and bustling, like if there's like a fuck ton of work in there, we gotta go to one of these things.
I have another point here, but I do want to ask, at the very end, also, Gen is straight up like, Callia's like, Lily and I are gonna leave because we're zombies. And he's like, okay, yeah, good, go. And then Tess is like, that's not nice. They're zombies, but they helped us. And he's like, you know what? I'm racist. And I don't think I'm going to be not racist. So, Tess, you lead the city-state now. She is now the queen of Glineas.
Yeah, I mean, like, that is one main reason. Basically, the way I interpreted this whole cutscene, which was a very nice cutscene, I felt like it was really emotional, and I felt like it was a good cutscene just between the two of them, which is similar to the other cutscene at Belmeth, kind of, in some ways, which we can talk about later. But I thought it was mainly him just saying that, like, because obviously he's been struggling for a while now, like, emotionally, and I don't think, sorry Aaron, but I feel like I don't know that he wants to, and I don't know that he's fit to be a major alliance leader if he's feeling this way.
Yeah, for me, I wasn't getting it's because he's racist. I was more so getting he lost Anduin. Like he lost Anduin. So yeah, now he's like, fuck.
He's continued to lose sons. And even to the point Tess says, she's like, I know you're sad because you lost your son. You lost your other son. But you've had a daughter this whole time who is now like a grown woman.
And he was like, fine, take the car.
And she's like, at best, sometimes you make mention of me during, like, you brought me to the tree. Thanks, Dad. And he's like, you know what? You are so right. Here, take the city. I'm going.
I'm going to go look for my other son, not the blood one.
But did you guys get the quest after that? I'm trying to see where the Worgen exclusivity begins.
Yeah, we did.
When you get the toy.
And I think we got the toy too, but we can't use the toy. If that's what you're asking.
Well, yeah, that's the only thing is, you eventually get Tess's Flowers, which is a Worgen exclusive Hearthstone that only goes to Glineas.
Which I think is really cool. Yeah, I think that's a really nice little touch that they did. But then, so did you get this as a reward when you went to do the quest to go find where Gen went? As if we wouldn't know where he was going. Like, obviously he's going to, like, his son's grave. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's just, everyone gets the toy, I guess. It's interesting that they pass it out to non-Worgen, but I guess so that you can use it on a Worgen ult without having to go do the quest again.
Yeah, it like very obviously says like this is for Worgen only in red text in the description of it.
Oh, and then also you get a fox that I have a conspiracy theory about before I knew that there was a Worgen exclusive thing. I was like, they're pushing the age of humans. They're pushing the age of wolf people out. They're even... The mount that you get is gray with red eyes like a wolf person. We're second-class citizens in our own city. You can be a human riding a wolf person. But then I was like, well, they gave us a toy. Maybe I don't feel so bad anymore.
Balance in all things.
You think they're going to slowly update it, right? Like, they're going to slowly, like, rebuild it, you think? Like, as patches go on? Like, will it just, like...
I would hope so, because there's still a lot of areas that are, like, smoking husks of buildings. Like, you could see a zombie there, but just they took the zombies out. I'd have to imagine by the time, like, midnight rolls around and we'll be in that area again, it'll actually be a functional city.
Yeah, that's what I think, too. I think we're done now for, like, Dragonflight, but going into War Within and beyond... I think there will be more changes here because, as you just said, like, we're going to be in that part of Eastern Kingdoms probably during, at least, as you said, midnight. So I feel like at some point during maybe the mid to end of War Within, they might have another kind of update for us here.
I'm really excited for what that looks like because, I don't know, wait, do you have anything else to say about this, like, in general, Aaron?
Not about Glineas. I guess... I'll say this, it was treated with the same level of interest and the same level of interaction as other areas we just kind of get back on like a 0.5 or a 0.7. And I feel like it warranted more. And I feel like there should have been more lip service paid to specifically being a Worgen. Especially after the Heritage Quest was talking about how shameful it was to be like a wolf person. So... I didn't expect a bunch out of it, and I was still a little disappointed, but I'm glad that it's there, and I'm glad that people are using it. I saw a guy running wild, and he was like walking wild. He was on all fours, walking down the street, looking at art, and I was like, that's neat. So at least some people are here, even if it's just to fish up Lord Godfrey's glasses.
I think Tess is going to get bit. This is my theory. I think there's going to be... So obviously, when Glineas gets rebuilt, and we are in the new patch, or in the new area, or whatever it is, expansion, and they're doing it, they have to make Tess... She has to go through trials and tribulations as a new leader, right? You have some Worgens rebel... The Worgen bite her. She's like, I'm a beast. I'm ugly. I'm hideous. She tells Growlina to her face. And then she learns, because like the way that she's set up is so wrestling. She's so anti-wolf that it's a joke that she's leading the wolf people. She has to be turned into a wolf. That's what Vinnie Mac would do.
And I never even thought about it. If Gen really does go off somewhere where you can't see him to go think about things, then yeah, there's no... Because he's like the one guy they allow to be a wolf person sometimes. So there will not be a Worgen leading the Worgen. So yeah, she's got to... Either someone else has got to step up in a boo-boo council move, or yeah, she's got to turn into one soon.
I hope they don't do a boo-boo council, because I'm kind of sick of it. That's more of the Hordes thing. Like, we have our leaders in line. Its succession is set up pretty well, except for the council, but, you know, they're a family, so...
Listen, it's been very... telegraphed already. You guys are just blind to it. Celestine of the Harvest, they have prepared her for this push. she is going to be getting a lot of FaceTime in
I'll say
Dragonflight.
she got name dropped by name. Gen was like, Celestine, go check out the wall. And she turned into a bird. And I was like, I don't like seeing her not be a wolf person. She is exclusively balance, non-chicken balance in my mind.
I feel like I've seen Celestine hanging out more in the Emerald Dream than I have hanging out anywhere else. I don't know. I think she's going to have her Hearthstone set to Belemeth, because that's where Wild Seeds is set, because you can fucking go there now. And looking at what they've laid for the Belemeth Foundation for the city, I think Glineas is going to be fucking lit, because Belemeth is already fucking crazy with what they have going on.
So I guess this is our little bit of our transition here. So the Belemeth storyline, is that what is considered the... How did they word it? The, like, end of expansion story of this patch? Is that what it is?
Yeah, so there's like a little prologue. Wait, prologue is at the end?
Prologue's the
Prologue.
beginning.
No,
What the hell's
the-
what the hell's the other
Epilogue.
one called? Epilogue. Thank you. Epilogue. The epilogue is in Belemeth. And my thing is, they don't really give you any breadcrumbs to go to Belemeth. I went to the journal. Again, big journal head here, and there was nothing in there saying go to Belemeth.
Okay, so here's what happened for me. I went up to the top of the Seat of the Aspects, and Alexstrasza had a quest for me. And the first quest had a cutscene where basically just her and all of the Aspects, including Viranoth, and are up there, and they basically just thank you for everything you've done this expansion, for effectively saving Dragonskind and bringing them back together. Viranoth is up there in the Seat of the Aspects with her Primal Dragon model, and Abyssian is there in his new Aspect model dragon form. So that was all pretty cool to see. And they basically just thank you. And then after that mini cutscene, in-game cutscene, Alexstrasza gave me another quest that said, Tyrande and Chandris want to meet up with you in Belemeth, so go over there.
Okay, so get this. That is not how I did this. I flew my ass to Belemeth after forgetting how to get there. I'm like, how the fuck do I get to Belemeth? And then I'm like, oh, well, you fly past the portal when I asked Immune when I was at work. I flew past the portal. I'm exploring. I'm like, this is so fucking cool. And I find Alexstrasza standing in the middle of the thing. And she was like, champion, I need you to meet me at the Seat of the Aspects. And I'm like, I just got here. Why?
Yeah, she's like, come meet me. It's important. And yeah, I go up there. And then, she's like, have you heard of Belemeth? It's pretty cool. And I was like, I met you there. You were there with me.
You had me come here. And then she plays that stuff. And then we get that cutscene. And then she goes, okay, go to Belemeth. And I'm like, this could have been an email. You could have sent me this. You could have sent me a video of you guys doing this. Why'd you do this?
She's like, I have sent you a Snapchat, champion.
Don't worry, you can watch it twice.
Time is of the essence, champion. In simply 10 seconds, it will be gone to the twisting nether.
But Belemeth was so cool. Oh, wait. Back to that cutscene. Did you think more people were mad or groaned when they said champion of the Dragonflights? Because people always complain, oh, everyone calls us champion. We're always champion. I popped. I was like, you damn right I'm a goddamn champion of this Dragonflights.
I didn't even hear what they were saying because they cut such a sick-ass promo of, like, they must have sent out an APB to every dragon in the area, like, okay, everyone, hang out on, like, the mid layer, like 200 feet up. And as soon as I tap my tail on the side of the building, everyone comes up behind the mortal. That was sick as fuck. I was sad that I had my little Glineas knife out because you hold your knife up, and I'm like, oh, that would have been cooler if I had like a sword.
My thing is I am always never ready for an in-game cutscene. My Mog is always like some kind of level of dumpy. And I'm just like, oh, I feel like it would look so much cooler if I didn't have this hood covering my face so I couldn't see anything.
I was fucking prepared this time because when I went to Glineas, I accidentally stayed in my deer form, and so all of my cutscenes was me as a deer standing next to Tess, and it just looked ridiculous. And so I'm like, I gotta make sure I'm not in an animal form. I gotta make sure I'm wearing my Sunday best, my purple wolf outfit with the big purple spear. And, pose for some pictures with the biddies.
But yeah, it was a cool cutscene. And then basically, if you thought the Glineas saga was short, this was even shorter. You basically got that cutscene. She's like, go to Belmeth, and then you have like a quest that is basically just watch this cutscene in Belmeth, and then it's over.
Well, to be fair, there's more to do in Belmeth only because there's like 5 or 6 transmog items that are like scattered about to make you explore. I spent a couple of hours exploring Belmeth on my lunch break and my other break today. And it's the amount of detail, it's so cool. You can tell how much they put into it. And because I was playing Classic with old Teldrassil, it's cool seeing like the connections, you know?
Oh, yeah, no, I was just saying that basically, like, the actual questing is not there. But yes, as you said, there is a lot to explore there. I am parked there right now, so after we're done recording, I'm going to continue exploring.
Not to chew on sour grapes here, but the entirety of 10.2 was kind of the foundation of Belmeth.
But something that was missing and that people were wondering why it didn't happen during 10.2 happened, I think, in this cutscene. Obviously, if you're listening to this, we've already spoiled literally everything, so, you know, whatever. So we get a cutscene here, which is basically Tyrande and Malfurion being reunited, and Shandris, who's basically their adoptive daughter, right?
Yeah, Shandris was adopted at like 16 or whatever, and
now she's like 1600.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
she's still their daughter, and luckily they did make her like an inch shorter than Tyrande, but that confused a lot of people online. That it's like, no, this is their adult daughter, so she probably cannot participate in what happens next.
Oh, yeah, and let me just say, they got into it. We basically got Night Elf tonguing, like, in this cutscene.
Which, you know what, have we seen them kiss before like this?
I don't know. I don't think they ever had the tech. No.
I think on this show alone, we've, like, accused them of not being a real couple just because they don't really show that they care about each other in any way up until this moment. And, like, you know, basically, as they say, like, Tyrande's like, you know, I've seen way too much of Malfurion, and, like, I cannot miss him until he goes away for a bit. And now he's been away for a bit, and now they are, like, literally making out on the screen for all to see.
It's also funny. In the cutscene, he was like, I saw everything while I was slumbering in Arden. I was like, even when this guy is on vacation, his ass is asleep.
But he said he saw everything through Ysera's eyes. So, you know, Tyrande was like, you saw what I did in the Moonwell? And he's like, mm-hmm. So that was and I also love, because then the same thing happened. But Tyrande was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna take my man, who I almost lost again. We're gonna fucking go retire. Shandris, you can lead. We're gonna go fucking have a little garden and fucking it.
No, basically, Shandris was like, but guys, what do I do? How do I lead everything? And then Tyrande's like, you've already kind of been doing that. You got this. And then Malfurion's like, anyways, let's go pick a house that has a nice sick-ass garden, and we can, like, take a nap over there.
Malfurion's like, what do you mean you don't know how to lead? It's been 15,000 years. What do you have, cotton in your ears?
You already lead the Sentinels. Like, you can lead the rest of them.
Really, not one day during the millennia you've been alive did you not realize what it takes to lead? I don't know, just grow a tree. That's our main thing.
Bring me a switch and get over my knee for 16,000 lashings.
Don't make me kick you with my bird feet. Which I don't know why. I think it's because I don't see Malfurion and I think of him even less. When he rolled up and he had his little eagle stompers, I was like, oh, I forgot. Those are his real feet.
He's the original druid. I think he exists as a half bird man.
Yeah.
He's got wings. He has literal wings.
He was the first guy to transform, so he didn't do it right. So yeah, he's constantly stuck halfway through.
It's like Tobias in Animorphs. He's stuck in hawk form.
You know, it's kind of funny though, like when it was the big reveal of him being back again, which I feel is what a lot of people were expecting of that last cutscene that we had at like the founding of Belmeth. But like when he first appeared in this cutscene in 10.2.5, I couldn't help but laugh. Maybe it was just like the zoomed out view of him, just far enough away, just small enough of my screen, kind of T-posing. and then they're like, oh, it's Malfurion. I'm like, he kind of looks funny, honestly.
I think this is great because what it's setting up is, I mean, you told me this. They were saying how Dragonflight is going to be the end of an era, basically. And it seems like the era is going to be replacing the older guard, who we've had stories with for a while, with new, fresh guard, who will be more apt to fuck up and make mistakes and make things interesting. So, like, now we got Tess leading the Worgen. Now we got Noah Anduin. Now we got Chandris leading the Night Elves. Like, who's next? Where is Dagran the Rusian the Second? Where is he?
Ooh, 10.2.7, Velen says, I'm finally so old, I'm going to retire. But I called in a friend from WAD. And then it's Yrel. And then we get that new heat where she fucks up constantly because it's like, we need to go visit Thrall's forces. And she goes, who? You are working with an orc? And it's like, no, it's in this world, we're cool with them. It's like, not for long.
The grand reveal is going to be like, and now my successor, Rakish, my son.
Boo. People are throwing trash from the stands. Yeah.
And then in like the final patch, like there's a cutscene where Velen's daughter comes forth, and it's actually just me. And I'm like, you've had a daughter this whole time, but you're always hung up on Rakish.
I fed him a sensu bean when he was dying. I like this. You're the new leader. That's great. But so Belemeth is, you can tell they're going to be adding things to it. Like there's like a bunch of empty spaces, like Old Teldrassil. It's just like an homage, I think, to big open fields or whatever. But there's like some areas that are interesting. Jared Shadowsong is in like a Sentinel Tower, and behind him is a Watcher who I thought was Maev because I'm looking at Jared. So I'm like, oh, what's he Maev? I click on her and she goes, thought I was Maev, didn't you? And I was like, okay, bitch, you're next to fucking Jared Shadowsong. Yes, I thought you were Maev. You're wearing her clothes. But she was like, I'm a new warden. I've been stationed here to train new wardens if they ever show up. I wonder if they will. And I'm like, okay, so this is going to be like the warden area.
Yeah, I saw her and she was like, hey, what up? It's me, Mira Moonshadow. And I was like, you guys always die or get corrupted. I'm not writing your name down, Mira. I'm sorry.
She's like, I know there's a lot of new wardens coming in with this T-Mog set that's been around, which now we have both sets of them finally.
Ooh, no more white cummy set for me unless it's white cummy Sundays. Then I put it on.
Hey everyone, come on down to the community event, White Gummy Sundays. We all put on our goober. There's no way to force the mount, is there? Right? So if we go down and have a race on White Gummy Sunday, it has to happen after 7 p.m. server.
We need a white cummy tiger. Why are they holding? Let's flip the script now. We don't want the warden one all the time. We want the white one all the time. Oh! Speaking of transmogs, to warden set. Just pause for a second. They've already hotfixed the Worgen outfit. We didn't talk about the Worgen outfit.
I am very happy because I was not able to play. Apparently, you got Gilnean Finery for completing the Reclamation of Glineas, and that shit was stuck to your skin like a fruit by the foot. They forgot to turn on like the bump map data on it or something, so it looked like you were wearing like a morph suit that was just fashioned to look like Finery. But now it's actually cool, and it's actually
so
sweet.
Good. It's so much better because, like, okay, like it was my panda, but if it looks good on my panda, you know it's fresh now.
And it goes very well with the heritage armor. You can sort of mix and match parts of that. So I'm very appreciative. Worgen guys, we're living large for once in our tiny, sad lives.
Let's break up this discussion real quick with another round of Noel or no Noel.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
All right, we got a bunch of Noels here, and I want you guys to see if you can find them in the batch of non-Noels. But first, as always, as we always do around here, we gotta start with a question. I need you guys to name a person I went to high school with. Ready, go.
Anthony.
A little mouse.
Ooh, two great contenders. Anthony is correct. You said it first.
I was just gonna fully dox his whole name, but I was like, I should stop. Probably.
It's a good idea. Okay, so you get the first round of Noel or no Noel. Who's the Noel in this group of Noels or non-Noels? Is the Noel Mud Snout? Is it Three Tooth? Or is it Sasebi.
You know, all you DN Army listeners already have roasted me enough here. You're probably screaming and slapping your knees, being like, I'm just going to get this one wrong, which I will, but I'm going to go with the mud one that you said first.
You picked Mudsnout?
Yeah.
Congrats, Mudsnout's a null. 3 toots a Quillbore.
Ah, beans.
Oh my god.
Sasebi's a troll. All right, on to the next one. Is it Snarlmane the Bloodgorger, Mangletooth, or Dibs?
I'm going to go with Mangletooth, but I have a bad feeling.
Your bad feeling's correct. Aaron, you have it up next. Snarlmane the Bloodgorger, Mangletooth, or Dibs.
You know what? I gotta go with Dibs on this one.
Incorrect. Dibs is a Niffin. Mangletooth the Quillbore. Snarlmane the Bloodgorger, a null. A null the title. Could be rare, who knows? But I guess this goes back to Immune. Is it Rancora, Meatball, or Saber Snout?
Oh, it's me. It's
Yeah,
Meatball.
we know this one.
Do you?
I guess you truly were running out of
he's been
Knowles.
like-
You got to do some obvious ones now.
He's been like a Garrison and Covenant follower.
Okay, all right, that's correct. How about this one? Django Spothide, Dreadpaw, Blood Tusk.
I'm gonna go with Dreadpaw.
Incorrect. Aaron, is it
It
Django?
is Django Spothide.
Correct. It is Django Spothide. Now for this last one. You can't catch up, but maybe you can get 2 to 3. You look pretty good. Is it Halcyon, Dire Wolf, or Ardo Dirtpaw?
Can you give me the first one again?
Halkio.
I'm gonna go with Halkio.
Incorrect. Immune. Is it Halkio, Dire Wolf, or Ardo Dirtpaw?
I'm gonna go with Ardo Dirtpaw.
Correct. I made up Halkio because I realized I only wrote 2 for this one, and Dire Wolf is a literal dire wolf. Just the beast.
I was gonna be so mad if Direwolf, was not either literally like a wolf that orcs ride on or a worgen if we lost that to a knoll.
So congrats. That was another game of Knoll or no Knoll.
Oh boy, here it goes. I'm gonna finish the last of my herbal tea.
Oh yeah, chummery, my dude.
Just kidding, it's not herbal, it's chai tea because we got it from when we made Taylor's cookies.
Tea Cooks. Speaking of T-Swift, hey, how about that AOTC for Uno Mas? They did it. They rounded into the corner and they knocked him down.
Discord log off noise.
Yeah, so as it is written, how many times is it now, Aaron, that you, for one reason or another, you have not been present for our guild's AOTC kill?
This is only the third, and not AOTC, but I missed both Jaina's. I missed the normal kill of Jaina Proudmoore and the heroic kill back in the day, and I have now missed the AOTC kill of Ferric.
Did you know that there's also somebody else in the guild who has also missed 3 important kills in the prime evening due to falling asleep and not waking up? Who do you think it is?
It's gotta be my man. Oh god. I feel bad blanking on his name. Healer? British?
Cynical. No, he's for unknown reasons. Honors, who has just recently came back to the guild. He in the same night you were missing, he was absent from the pool, and the minute we killed it, he logged on and said, "I fell asleep. My alarm didn't go off."
He's such a silly little bumbly man. Like, he'll be gone for like 45 minutes, and people are like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I was making some coffee." And it's like, what? It takes you 45 minutes to make coffee in 2023? It's like, I had to go and get the beans from my own backyard. And it's like, oh, okay. Whatever you say, friend.
We always say he's got a really big house because it takes him forever to get through it. It's like he's going to like a haunted mansion or something and he gets lost on his way back.
But how was it? Tell me about the Prague. You guys did it around like 11 p.m. our time, so there was some attempt put into it.
Yeah, but overall it was pretty quick. So like on our first night of raiding, we just started on Farrak, and how many pulls was it, Slide? Would you say it was like 10 pulls that night and then we got it?
I was going to say like 8 or 9, but it could be like 9 or 10.
Overall, Lynn was saying that it took us like this raid, like from start to finish on heroic was like pretty average for us, and
I had the chart pulled up. It was 131 total pulls to clear Amir Drasil. For reference, Aberrus took us 105 pulls to fully clear, and Vault of the Incarnates took us 244 pulls, tied with our most.
So basically, these last two raids have been pretty quick for us. I also think for reference, we pulled Sylvanas more than we pulled the entirety of Amir Drasil.
I mean, I can believe it, which is terrible because the Sylvanas fight takes about a third of the time of the entirety of Amir Drasil.
I love that he made this chart. It's crazy to look at. And because like in the amount of polls we did Vault, that we did both Aberrus and Amir Drasil with like 6 pulls to spare. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, we're pretty consistent, I guess, in the amount of time it takes us to get it done. But I'm happy that it's done. Also, after we killed Farrak, then we went back and like did the rest on heroic. So we did a full clear of heroic this week, including killing Smolderon again, which was only our only second time ever killing him.
We killed Smolderon. I couldn't. We almost didn't do it. We had to do him like twice, 3 times, and you could tell people were dragging because that was the last thing we did, and that's ugh. No, actually, T-Swift was the last thing we did.
Yeah, and T-Swift wasn't that necessarily that easy for us either on a reclear, but I have a feeling that like in the weeks to come, if we do this, I honestly don't know what we're gonna be doing. I think we're gonna start with achievements on our first night next week because Lynn is like, yeah, let's just give ourselves a night of break.
I ain't never getting this thing, man. I already know that I ain't never getting this thing.
No, it's happening. We have to re-clear it because people want the weapon. Yeah. So.
Well, we're gonna go back on like season 4, like goofball gumball mode, and that still counts.
Well, and you're not the only one that missed it. Nust missed it. Honors missed it. That's already 3 that I can think of. I think all the people weren't there. We lost some of the people that didn't show up. So.
Yeah, no, I think our plan is to do like kill her like heroic Farrak on our second raid night or after achievements, depending on how fast they are. I don't know.
Yeah, and hey, I got the priest. My priest got a lot of raiding in. I did the rest of heroic honor. Well, except for Smolderon because we needed all the guns for that one. I feel like a changed man. I don't know, Aaron. You should get one of these.
What, a priest or an AOTC?
An AOTC.
Yeah, you know what? It really fuck me, honestly. No, I was about to say I couldn't have even installed WoW on my work computer because it was the only laptop that was functioning.
Oh, yeah,
like,
I forgot.
The big night that we needed it to. So I wasn't about to be like, oh, sorry, can you actually stop editing the convention promo? I need to log in and get my Feeric kill, please.
Yes. I mean, maybe he would have understood.
Did either of you mess around with the wild avenue that is follower dungeons?
No, but Cheatham, friend of the show, because I like him.
Known egg consumer. Known egg annihilator.
This man, if you watch your cartons of eggs around this man, plural. He will eat like 45 eggs in a day. I was reading that eating more than 2 eggs a day can kill you. So this man's immortal. He's beaten death. He's been in the guild for a long time. I think he's Rio's friend, but this man is on so infrequent that the last time we really talked was like Legion, and it was about how many eggs he ate during raid. So now I only know him as the Eggman, and whenever I bring it up, like I brought it up when I saw him, and he was like, "Oh, dude,
Get a load of this!
I just ate like 18 for dinner." I'm like, "Let's go!" Anyway, he did a follower dungeon. And he said, and I quote, I saw this like a minute before I logged off to record this. The follower dungeon AI feels like real people, is what he said. So I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing.
yes. In that in a number of ways. In that they'll do weird, like they'll go on weird paths. I was doing a Ruby life pools, and I don't know if the AI was weird or it was trying to save time. The entire group elected to go around the interior of the upper ring instead of the exterior for no real reason.
You know what? I also saw Cheatham say, but before I logged off, I assume he was talking about this. He was like, "Oh my god, the healer stood in something and died."
Although I will say, I think it's in an effort to try and introduce it to newer people. It's not voice acted, but they do yell at you if you are like messing up a mechanic. Like Garrick was like, "Follow me. You need to stick close to me to survive." Or we were fighting the fire primalist Tauren, and I was on the phone with Cubby Bub, and so I got nicked by some fire, and the healer Tauren was like, "You need to move." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So like they actually do try and help you as a new person.
That's cool. I would love if they just like pinged you like 15 times like they do in Dota when you're like fucking up. Ping, 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 ping. Where the fuck are you? Let's get moving.
He also could say that they're human because if you're not doing anything, if you're waiting on like a mechanic, they'll like dance or tell a silly occasionally.
That's fun. Yeah, I haven't done one. How do you just queue for it like normal? Like,
yeah, you just queue. It's now the first option. So when you go to your green eyeball, you're looking for dungeon. It's follower, normal, heroic, like funny, whatever the funny fourth one is.
Oh, it's
so
follower.
It's the new.
Is the gear lower?
I don't actually even know if there is gear.
Okay,
I did it on Booty ATW, and I did not get a single piece of gear. I might not have been paying it. Yeah, or I just may not have been paying attention because anything on follower would have been well below her threshold. But I didn't get anything, so it makes sense if it's just like, this is for learning a dungeon, or this is for story mode. Like, we don't want you to do these over and over and cheese them.
It's honestly a great tool, and you know it's going to be used a lot. Watch people be like, this is going to be the death of WoW, and everyone's doing follower dungeons instead of socializing, which they don't do anyway. And people who are like, oh, no one talks in this game are always people who won't say hi first in a group. Like, dumb.
The only people that I've seen really jazzed, and this is not to discredit the system, but the only people I've seen really jazzed for it are people like Cubby Bub who are like, I actually do not want to accidentally end up with a weirdo in my group who will yell at me. But I do want to do the dungeons, so that way she can do, and they stopped doing it as much, but it used to be like, oh, to finish the Onaran Plains, you actually have to do the dungeon. So she's like, well, I guess I'll never finish it then. So now you have a way to do so.
There's a lot of people that play like that, and like, I can't blame them. Like, we've seen how horrible people can be in the chat. Sometimes you don't want to deal with it, and sometimes turning off the chat isn't going to solve the problem. I don't know, because like then you know there's going to be dickwads in there who can kick you at any given minute. Like, so I think it's good. I think it's mostly good to keep new people retained to the game. I think it's a good tool for that. We need more of that.
Oh, also I forgot there is a system that I was interested that they put it in, where essentially you can toggle if you want the tank to tank or if you want to be the leader. And I guess that works for, like, you don't feel like you're following around the NPCs all the time. You can set the pace, and then just when you enter a fight, Garrick will, like, run in and be like, okay, now I'm doing tanking stuff.
Probably good for, like, practice tanking, too.
Yeah, I set her to be the leader, and this is my only negative words. They're very slow. If you allow Garrick, the tank, to set the pace, she will go at a glacial speed. I was in Ruby Life Pools for like 25 minutes because I was like, go!
Which, for reference, I feel like in 25 minutes we have cleared it the amount of times we need to like defeat the weekly.
Yeah, we've done the 4 mythics in a span of like 20 minutes. But no, Garrick would like, and I guess it's like to allow you to heal or whatever. But we'd defeat a group. She'd sit there. We would slash walk to the next group, fight them, slash walk. And it's like, I know we can do it. I have 700k health. Please go, Garrick.
Charge. Well, there's more to talk about, but we'll save that for next week. And then we're going to go into our top toot, bottom boot, medium moot. And I'll kick us off with what I am calling a top toot.
Top boot.
Toot, 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 toot,
And it's
toot.
top 2 in that it is an unprecedented event that has never occurred in the history of this pod. A mini sexiest NPC of the week is my top 2 this week.
Ooh.
Toot toot.
Toot.
And my mini is going to Inquisitor Fairbell, heiress to the Scarlet Crusade, woman of the stained glass, the bald-headed bitch in the church. That's right. The lady who tried to take Glineas over.
Also, I just want to say that, like, there's nothing hotter than turning into a giant-ass light elemental.
That was cool. That was unexpected. I did not... I was like, okay, who is this Sinead O'Connor looking... Oh, she's dead now. Sinead O'Connor looking bitch. Like, she got the bald-headed look. She looks the cool makeup.
I said, girl, ain't nothing compares to you when it comes to sexiest NPC. Also, she had the skills to pay them bills. And she's an opportunist. She saw them nasties move out, and she said, let's go. Let's get them.
She's like, this is prime real estate, is what she said. We're going to live in the fucking cool working houses.
Insert free real estate meme here.
It's free real estate.
But Inquisitor Fairbell, this is a speed round, so you guys have anything else to say about her appearances before we kick it off?
This might be a speed run, which is, you know, very akin to her speed run of her spotlight in the World of Warcraft because, you know, as Aaron said earlier, on to the next Scarlet Crusade leader.
Listen, all I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with a quickie. What about you, Immune? What's your top 2, bottom boot, medium moot?
Well, I have a medium mood, I suppose.
Medium.
I'm just gonna say that it's the archives. I don't know if this is bugged. I did not. I did it in a weird order to begin with. My journal brought me to the actual big dig in the Azure Span before anything led me to actually go to the physical archives to do like the tutorial things up there. Also, nothing's voice acted at the Big Dig. I don't know if that's like a mistake, a bug, or if that's just the way it is. And the Big Dig just feels very similar to like every major world event we've had in Dragonflight, where it's like
it feels like
do
soup.
these tasks.
It feels like soup, but it does not work well enough. Because soup, you get to do activities, but like everyone gets an activity. Big Dig, and I don't know if it's because it's new. So many people are there that I was sitting on my hands like, come on, Archivist Eavesdrop, give me something to do. And he only gave me like one thing to do in 15 minutes. So I was like,
I know.
I guess I didn't
then I was
help
just
much.
sitting there. I was just sitting there trying to dig on whatever pile was nearby while I was waiting for him to give me my next task. And it obviously is because it was like patch week, but like there were so many people. I was finding a hard time to even click on the pile to dig.
Yeah, I had problems with it as well. I'm hoping that this next week I'm gonna try to do Azerothian Archives, even though I really do not want to based on what I've done. But I'm gonna give it a chance because 2024 is about chances.
So people were saying like, oh, it's like archaeology, and I was like, how? This is literally every public event we've had so far. This has nothing to do with archaeology. And then I discovered that, oh, there are quests for me to go do up near the academy where the actual archives are. There are like 2 tutorial quests there, and I started doing those before we started recording. And I'm like, oh, this actually kind of is a little bit like archaeology, potentially. So I guess I'll see, once I finish the tutorials, what I feel about all of that.
I like the goggles, but
I was just about to say, I like the goggles system. And the totem would be okay if you didn't have to do the hot and cold digging system.
Right.
I feel like I both understand it and dislike it enough that I was like, I'll never fully invest in
They're
this.
doing too much with it. Like, it just be the goggles. It doesn't need to be the goggles and the fucking manage how hot and cold the elemental is getting. I got hands. Let me dig with my hands.
Yeah, that is where I currently am right now. And I'm like, so what? I'm supposed to be like telling this elemental to heat up this pile of dirt, and then if it gets too hot, I'm supposed to literally kick some water on it? I'm like, Okay, I guess.
I found the dirt. Don't make me do more shit on top of finding the dirt. Now I don't care. Now you're wasting my time. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, but like currently it's a medium moot. I will give a proper analysis next week when I've given it more time. But Aaron, what do you have this week?
Unfortunately, I too have a medium moot this week.
Medium moot.
And it really should be a top toot because I got what I needed and I got it in a timely manner. But most folks who are staying in Glineas are staying because you can fish in the Glineas River and fish up Lord Crowley, who is one of the big bads in the Worgen and Forsaken storylines. You can fish up his iconic blue, tiny, like Beatles glasses, and it's a random chance when you're fishing. So I was like, awesome. I'm going to like sit and fish and talk to people here in Glineas, just talk about how nice it is to be here. Cast my line a couple times. Cast it a 7th time, and I fish it up.
7?
So I was like, oh, 7.
Damn. What's the average time? Do you know?
The lowest I heard was someone said it takes about 40, 45, and I saw someone say, I've done it 230 times, and I haven't found it yet.
Gee, well, there you go. Look at that. The luck factor continues.
I guess, yeah, but I was like, okay, I have my glasses, and I like slipped them on. I knocked off my little top hat and my monocle I had, and I was like, well, I guess I'm going to go around Glineas. Oh wait, no. I got rid of all the NPCs. Guess I'm going home then.
It's like a trade-off, you know. You had to purge the whole city, but you got some cool shades in exchange.
Very true, but I'll be excited potentially tomorrow to see more Worgen around and show off my cool glasses. And they'll be like, "Are those Lord Godfrey's? That's terrible. He was like a criminal to us." And I'd be like, "Oh." Speaking of criminals, it's criminal how much support we receive from our $5 a month patrons. They include Command Sergeant Major Tejurla, 4th host of the podcast, to Monkey Ahoy, Vince, Instinct / Drag Race, Azar, and Digital Dave. Asking Growlina to say, I'm sorry, Dave, this is not going to be a good one. For the Horde.
Oh!
That was rough, and it hurt, too. Mitch wants to remind everyone that Rathion isn't daddy, he's a literal child. Crucifix, Saracen Hawk, Kick Puncher, Jerome, Satious and Soup, Adorno, Losing the Patient, Gershom, Big Papa Crispy's Big Mama, Calcus Crinkle, Santa's Void Elf, Wooly, Slidewhistle's Secret Stalker, Tee-hee-hee, Muv, Adaman, Vanderlyle, and I'm going to say this next one in a healthier sounding voice. I'm going to summon all my energy for it. And Will, a.k.a. Tyre, Trade Chat's Fallen Father.
If you want to send us any emails, send them to DoNotRelentpod@gmail.com. If you want to send me any emails, send them to NavarraCoffin@gmail.com. Holla, blah, blah, blah. What about you guys? Where can I find you on the internet?
Well, you can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at New Era Alex or on Blue Sky at Immunization.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at TheBigAcheesy on Twitters.com. I have a Blue Sky, but they recently started putting things on my profile, like, based on things you might like, but it doesn't have enough info for me, so it's terrible. So, tag me on Blue Sky. I'm not checking it. But I will be checking any of the various social medias that DNR has, which you can find at Linktr.ee/DoNotRelentpod. That's our link tree. Think of a social media? We got it.
This is the end of the show, and we will now be leaving until next week. We will see you all in the next week, and have a good, happy week in the year.
Was that a happy, Abby?
Goodbye.
Have a happy Abby Abley year. Pay me $10K or else we're gonna fucking fight by the Stormwind Gate.
Goodbye from Abby Abley in Ham City.
Oh my god.
And remember...
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.
Perfect.